Because
I'm very introverted. I don't like
Yep.
being out there that much, but that's what seems to be making the biggest impact.
I have great news. It's binary. Either you do more of it and you get used to it, and like everything in life, once you get used to it, it just becomes your norm and you didn't realize it. Now, you may never be the most extroverted, but you just everybody here can be a better singer, dancer, and basketball player. They may not become LeBron, but if you do it every day, you get better. You keep putting yourself out there every day, you'll get better. So you can either choose to do that, or you could say, I don't like it. I'll leave the money on the table because I love the privacy and the private life and not having to engage, and you do that. It's your choice. You're in charge.
Are you an advocate for doing like what's harder though? If
I'm
that's
an
going to make
I'm
a
an
big
advocate on
impact?
doing what you want to do, not because I said so or your friend said so. I'm an advocate of you doing what you want to be doing, but I always encourage to taste more because it works. You know how many people here? Do you know how many people here hate oysters but have never had one? I think about that shit every day. That's how I think about business. Like, you've made a judgment on something, yet you've never done it. So you know what I'm gonna say. You know, you've like consumed it. I already know you're gonna do more of it because you've already done the hardest part, which is you've done it. You're now a foregone conclusion to me, KP. You're just gonna keep doing
I love that
it.
you just called me that.
You know, like that.
Thank you.
That's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
You're just looking for me to give you a little more juice to do it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, which is amazing. And I'm thrilled to do it because it's fucking free. Here you go. Go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just really quickly, is there anything that is hard for you? Like, I know that your mindset, the way that you think about things, you're like, I'm confident, I can do this, but like, is it hard to like get up in the morning sometimes? Or
No.
Is anything hard at all?
Spelling is fucking impossible. I can't read for shit. If I was reading from a teleprompter right now, I would crumble and be out of here. Can't read for shit. Like, fencing probably is, hard. Oh, I'm really way below average in swimming. Poor swimmer. Like, always think like, fuck, I'll be super pissed if if I die because we get fucked up, like somebody hits and I have to swim further than everybody, and I'm like, yeah, there's shit.
Okay. Can I get a photo with you?
You know why you asked that question?
Validation.
No, it's why you asked me of that question? Validation, the first part. The second part. You're asking me that as somebody who knows a lot about me because I don't spend any time on it.
Right.
We all suck at shit. So like, I don't care how you judge mine. You've got shit too. So because I don't care about that, the only reason people spend time on their weaknesses is because it's everybody else's opinion on it that they're trying to avoid. I don't care about your opinion about my weakness because I know you've got them too. So let's just move on. What I've been doing for the last 7 years. I don't love it. Client services, like having a 32-year-old brand manager from the University of Chicago telling me what she should do with Captain Crunch when she can't sell shit. Not fun.
I'm actually from the UFC, so.
Great.
Yeah.
So, like, not fun for me.
Yeah.
But I know why I'm doing it. I decided at 35, 36 that I was gonna spend 10 years of my prime as a business person building a Death Star of communication by eating shit and building a very big business. And then I was gonna point that Death Star, the VaynerX machine, against the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation because my brother has it and I wanna cure it. Some business that somebody comes along that didn't know how to run it, so I bought it for $1 million and then I can get it to 100. But I realized 6-7 years ago, fuck, I now know who I am. Let me build the biggest infrastructure in the world around it. And then whether it's to help, hurricane victims or sell sneakers, I'm gonna be able to point this fucking thing. So for me, I don't look at my EBITDA. I don't care how much we're growing. I've made a 20-year decision that I'm in the process of, and I'm gonna execute against that. And the numbers and dollars are just not the way I score. If you've been lucky enough to have the success you've had and you're this young, I would take a big step back and try to figure out, what is like the most fun or the most macro thesis you can come up with. You've gotta make the creative be a sales creative instead of a brand creative. You can't measure the ROI of Facebook either when you do it the way I do it because I'm pumping it for brand. I'm not trying to sell you shit. I could measure it if I had a $49 course.
So
Josh, people are confused between branding and selling. Make fucking phenomenal fucking influencers go for the sale and the creative if they choose to and you can afford them. Logan Paul sold a fuckload of Dunkin' Donuts fucking gift cards. Sales, super fucking measurable, Josh.
So would you focus, like, let's pretend you're not Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Let's take you out of the equation. You are
Who am I?
You are a 41-year-old, 42?
41 still.
41.
Slow your roll.
You're a 41-year-old nobody, right?
Yes.
You have, say, $1 million of investors behind you.
Well, then you're definitely not nobody if you got that. Let's just context shit, Joshy.
All right, fine. You're a 41-year-old nobody. You're getting into the game, right?
Yep.
Would you focus on growing your personal brand, or would you focus on leveraging other people's personal brands that
Both.
are already thing? So would you ride the backs of using the people that you're building, like that you're investing in? And
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you're trying to, are you asking, let's, Josh, what are you asking? I'll give you the answer. You're trying to build your personal brand?
I am trying to build my personal brand eventually. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you thinking about?
But I want to build my personal brand in a different niche than the influencers that I want to invest in.
Understood. I think that understand this, just because they may be in a different niche, they have so much awareness that the people that watch them may be into other things. Got it?
Yep.
So if it's a good deal on awareness, you might be able to convert, and then your product has to be good.
Cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the math you're looking at. You don't have to use the targeted nature of the ads if the influencer's a better deal, even though you might lose 85% of the audience because that's not why they're watching them, but they're still gonna get 15% of opportunity, and then the whole fucking kit and caboodle is, are you good enough?
Cool. All right, one last question. I'm a diehard Patriots fan. If Tom Brady makes it to a Super Bowl this year, will you go to the Super Bowl with me, on me?
No.
No? All right.
And not only that, I've been to the last 6 Super Bowls. They've been there 2 or 3 times, and I'm now with Vayner Sports, and Steve Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, my business partner, so I go, and the owner's dinner, it's all fun. The last 2 Super Bowls, 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, I left the city Sunday morning. I've not watched the Patriots play a down of a Super Bowl game in the last 4 Super Bowls that they've played in because I refuse. Everybody's like, the greatest comeback in a Super Bowl? I'm good. I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about. I didn't see shit.
Well, you like winners, and I'd like to invite you to the winning team.
No, Josh, you're confused, my friend. I'm a winner. You root for winners, dick.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Last year, I was selling websites. Was getting really frustrated that I wasn't helping people. Felt like they weren't growing their sales, but they had a really nice site. So you guys inspired me to start a podcast.
Awesome.
Didn't know exactly what for, but just...
You're like, fuck it, those guys are doing it, I will too?
More along the lines of I was listening to a podcast in the gym. Host asked the other guy, what would you tell your 20-year-old self? And the guy answered, I would divorce my wife earlier. I was super pissed off. I'm married with 2 young kids and wanted to have a podcast from a different perspective. And so a year later, thank God, 2 weeks ago, I got to publish my interview with Russell. I've had Dean Graziosi. And so my question is, number 1 is, how do you grow even further? And number 2 is, not just for me, but anybody starting or in progress, what should your priorities be?
So let's sit here. Both of those things I can't answer because you need to decide, first of all, you have to define growing for me. Is growing being a top 50 podcast? I mean, like we all get into our micro games. And by the way, I think micro games are good. Little short goals, micro, it's kind of good. You scratch it, it's fun for a little bit. I think you got to have your macro point of view. Like if you're telling me the truth that you felt like the conversations were going in the wrong directions and you wanted to go a different place, well, the answer to your question is just do it every day until you're dead, right? Like that's my plan. My plan is, hopefully it gets me to like this one little funny weird thing that I want to buy a football team. But other than that, my plan is to put out shit for free that is historically correct so that so I can continue to live the life I'm living, which is I made the money I wanted to make a long time ago. But getting 50, 60, 70 emails, 80 emails a day of people like, fuck, you helped me, like that's just like intoxicating, but that's what gets me off. And by the way, I'm not sure that I understand why that wouldn't be meaningful to somebody else. Like, so you just have to do what you have to do for yourself, right? Like that's how you grow by consistency. you're a year in. You grow when you're 19 years into your podcast.
More specifically, in terms of actual numbers
Yes.
and taking what you've done, and
Yes.
now like specifically on the number aspect of it, what do you recommend in terms of taking your platform and kind of skyrocketing numbers?
Buy underpriced attention. Whether that's buying ads on Facebook and Snapchat right now because they're underpriced, if that's working with influencers because many are still underpriced, whether that's taking the high risk of trying to make a $10,000 to $50,000 version of what you just saw, their incredible video, because that one video can be your Dollar Shave Club of your brand. Saying yes to everything. Like if you want it, if you're hungry, you do what I did, which is 4 years ago when I didn't jump into podcasting right away. The first 2 years I just went on everyone's. And so I could have went to sleep at 11 p.m. or I could have went on Lewis House's podcast at 11 p.m. Like that was a decision. It's just about awareness. Like where are the eyeballs? And so just put your time and effort into that. Some of it's free, some of it costs money.